Let me first be pretty clear, people, that I never lay out this ingredients like this. I never ever. This is just for the Kafandra's cooking show. I said, let me try and be professional. Look at that. Tomatoes are ordered, and they look a bit sour. Onions were cleaned. They really cleaned them up. I tried my best for the cooking show, and then nobody ever shows all the extras. And I decided to show it here, and I dropped in this few ingredients that I thought should be dropped in no oil, and then the other stuff, the garlic and the ginger, and you can see all that other stuff there which I dropped in. Now I must remind you, people, that I can't take spices, neither can my brother, and I end up cooking stuff like this. There's onions and cardamoms, guys, the elaichi there. I actually forgot. Look at that. That is the milk, 2 liters of milk which I heated up. I'm doing it at the same time I do. Well, me and my brother, we need probiotics, and this is the best way. I'll be creating a YouTube short on how to make dahi, and that's yogurt for you people who don't know what dahi is. There you go. I'm sprinkling Kashmiri red chili powder. It is nothing, people. Look at the amount of onions in that pan. As you can see, I'm a bachelor only because no girl wanted to be with me. But anyway, that's another story. What I'm trying to say is there, I'm putting turmeric, or it's alad as it's called in India. What you can see here, guys, is that I'm just using this one pan. So what I'm doing, I'm frying up the onions first. That's grated garlic. No, that's not grated garlic, that's dried garlic, I should say. And these are some of the things which I've got ready in the kitchen. So what I'm doing is just quickly, sprinkling a bit there. And our stomachs, because we're from Swaziland, we can't take the spices. Although lately, when you with that salt, there's only a bit of salt in that, people. That's pink Himalayan salt, and hardly putting on any salt at all. This dish is basically made up from. Look at that. That's a culture which I've brought out now. I'm moving on. I've just splashed in some butter. The onion's been frying. What I was talking about, the yogurt. It's a culture which I've created over now, I think, a few months. My own culture. It started off from a packaged yogurt box, and then you know what you have to do. You have to keep on creating a new culture, guys. It's simple. It's simple. You see, the heated. You have to boil the milk to its limit, as it's about to tip over the edge, and then wait for it to cool down, and then drop it in, pour it into the other pot, which as I've shown you here, and then just mix it up lightly. Now you just put a lid on and put it in a warm place, and it's supposed to, but it takes a bit of a long time. That's what I've discovered. It takes a long time, if I just put it in the oven for there we go. There we can see the onions. They've been frying quite nicely. I did put a lid on, and here we can go to the yogurt, guys. What I've done is I put a lid on the mixed up milk and culture. As you can see, it's still milky, and then that's the oven. Don't ignore that Weight Watchers special thing. It's just something my mum, it's been there. No, that is lying. That's like 8 years ago. But anyway, I'm going off the point. I just heated it up, the oven up around for 8 minutes on 200 degrees. There you can see I've chopped up the tomatoes, and I've put them in the same pan. I've poured the onions into, and then I put a lid on the tomatoes. Look at that. Whoa, professional. Isn't that professional? So now, if I had a big pot, you see, it's like as if I'm cooking. As you can see, I don't know what that is. That's tandoori masala, and then some jeera powder. I don't know why I put all that stuff, but and that's, I think, I don't have fresh coriander with me, so I put in some coriander powder as well, as mentioned earlier, and then I put a lid on. So what I'm doing here, guys, is you can see, for 2 people, the amount of food which I'm making, it seems astonishing, doesn't it? But the fact here is, you see, I have no measurements. I just go by, and I'm telling you people, I'm telling all of you people this, so there's probably going to be only one person who watches this. No, I add a little more butter. So this is the curry's version of a butter chicken, which is less spicy. Less spicy means absolutely no spice at all, but my goodness, is it tasty. So how much ever you put in, I've just speeded this up. As you can see, I'm not actually that fast, although I would like you guys to imagine that I am that fast. Anyway, maybe I used to be when I was younger, but I'm not that old also. But anyway, that's a different story. Once again, it's different. So as you can see, I poured all that stuff in that other pot, and guess what I'm going to do, guys? Guess what's left to do? This is a butter chicken mince, because our teeth, guys, we didn't take care of our teeth when we were kids. This is an important part of the cooking, guys. You have to remove the bay leaf and the cinnamon stick. Don't put too much cinnamon stick, guys. It really changes the taste and flavor. It also makes the color a bit dodgy. So we wanted, I haven't put any coloring, by the way, people. If you want it really red, you put coloring in, or you just get really ripe red tomatoes. But if you want it tangy, make sure the tomatoes are a bit on the green, on the lightly unripe side. Look at that. I'm putting the mince in, and I forgot I left that little black bit in, which they have with frozen minced chicken, but I pour that in. Do you notice, people, that the same, as you can see to the left, my brother's been steaming some veggies, but I'm mixing up the mince now. Once again, I'll put in some Kashmiri red chili powder, and then I'll put in some turmeric again. And you see, sometimes when you fry it, guys, sometimes you get a bit of the chicken smell, they call it, but actually it's supposed to be called, I'll tell you, a gamey smell. You see, sometimes you don't like that gamey smell. I don't like it, but usually it's not gamey. But sometimes when you get the gamey, you might think, oh, it's a bit off, but it isn't off. It is fresh, frozen. I hope it was fresh when they froze it. And sometimes, you understand through the smell itself, you understand, but there's a basic chicken smell which you get if you don't put in all these spices. These are the simple spices which our stomachs, they can digest. There's no problem with it. So like what I'm saying is, you can realize how much this is. Like 500 grams of mince, then there was like kilos of tomatoes. Now I've kept all those tomatoes and cooked onions, and now I did pour in some extra water, but guys, I was using that. Look at it. Let's listen to this. Oh no! Oh man! Oh no! Yeah, that guy. I totally forgot to put in the cashews, and now this is a recovery stage. This is a bachelor cooking in the end, boys. If boys and girls, I don't know why I said boys, but anyway, boys and girls, if I was cooking for a family, or some guests were coming over, I would have been even more comfortable, but I would have been even more careful. Comfortable? Why did I say comfortable? Oh, I'm tongue twisted I am. But anyway, I would have been more careful. I would have, I would set everything down properly. How could I forget the cashews? I mean, cashews are the main part of butter chicken, by the way, people. So the cashews had to put in right at the start, and then they would get soft, and then you mix them up together. The whole point, what I was saying before, what I interrupted myself with before. Look at that, I'm pouring the mince in another pot. Can you see that? I've used 2 or 3 pots for the same pan. The thing is, people, in the end, everything's going to be mixed up. Everything's going to be mixed up. So you might as well do it separately. Anyway, I'm going to use the hand mix and blender, I should say. And now what I'm doing is trying to recovery stage, people. I've put chopped carrots, or somewhat I've tried to chop them. I've put them in the pan. I'm pretending that I did them with onions. And I forgot to say, I keep interrupting myself, but what I'm trying to say is that it's a lot of food. The thing is, what me and my brother do, we don't need so much of a curry to have it bread or rice or something like that, and we leave some for the next day. Look at that, I'm blending everything together. We need some for the next day, and then what we do is we put the remaining in the freezer, so all this food which I'm cooking literally lasts for a week, sometimes more than a week if you really extend it. But that's how it is, guys. A bachelor's kitchen is just like this. I don't know why people tend to hide it, and we don't like spending money. We don't like spending money on outside food. Not is it costly, but you don't know how they cook it. It's really disgusting sometimes. They just use their hands. You don't know where their hands have been. They like massaging the chicken, or they like massaging the veggies, but do you know where that cook's hands have been? Unless you go to a 5-star restaurant where you're assured of that they'll be using gloves and whatever. My whole point is, you rarely see people using gloves. I mean, you do see some people, and that's very nice. I'd rather eat at that place, but otherwise I'd cook at home, and that's what I'm doing here. Look at that. Look at that. You just add a little bit of cream afterwards. Doesn't that look delicious, people? I did sort of put in a little extra cream, but that's what happens, and it's okay. We're all young growing People like, so you put how much cream you want. And I'm coming to the end of it. I'll just finish off with the yogurt, guys. I'll make a YouTube shorts on just on the yogurt, because people tend to buy the stuff, and the bought stuff is really rubbish. Look at this, guys. Just look at this. Just to end off the video, look at this. Oh, look at it. It's like gelatin. It's like custard. Did you see that, people? I hope you enjoy it. And this is the first episode of the cooking show, the Bachelor's cooking show, which Cassandra has started. But look at that. It's like custard, isn't it, guys? It's like custard, but also another addition which people never show right at the end. And this is why I've developed this means to keep everything in the freezer, guys. Look at this. You need to wash up the dishes, eh? The curries, we don't have anyone coming from outside. There's no maid servants or whatever you want to call them. No, what do you call them? House servants, house working people. It'll come to me as soon as I stop the recording. But that's how it is, guys. Bye bye. Hope to make some more videos later. Of course, hope to show you my players and their cooking videos. Here's me saying, Mr. Dlamini style, Salagashle.